don't think he can't see it. Oh, there's Chris Pratt on top. One second.
And how did that engagement go down?
All right, it's almost time for the premiere, but before we go, there's just one more thing we have to do. We couldn't have Garfield come here to the Chinese Theater without putting some paw prints in the cement. We want to commemorate this moment. So Garfield, we're going to ask you to head down there with everybody else.
Come on in, Jim.
Oh no!
Good job, Garfield. There you go, Jim. Jim, way to go.
And to the left. No, straight here. Thanks, guys.
It feels incredible. I came in on a bus. It's the Man's Chinese Theater. Right behind here is a block of apartments called the Madison Apartments, and I used to rent an apartment there. And I'd walk down here at like 2 in the morning, lonely and broke, and wonder if I would ever have a premiere here. And here I am. It's so crazy. I was just with Jim Davis when they put Garfield's paw prints down. I was like a part of that moment in history. It's awesome. Yes, our pampered indoor cat goes on an amazing outdoor adventure. He's forced to get out of his comfort zone, and he better do everything he can to save his family, his newfound father, Vic Samuel L. Jackson. There's a little bit of canon set up in this movie. We find out Garfield's real origin story, you know, because of course we know that cats have owners, but of course cats also have fathers, and so it's a really sweet and wonderful dramatic through line to explore their relationship. Awesome performances all around. It's a really fun and exciting movie. It's safe for all ages, kids of all ages. I'm so proud of it.
And straight front.
Oh man, it's Garfield. Who doesn't know Garfield? I knew Garfield before I could even knew how to read, which was pretty late in life for me. But I knew Garfield, okay? He'd come in the comic strips. As a kid, I would look on Sunday, and I'd see what movies were playing, and I would read Garfield. And now here I am some years later, and I'm, you know, the weird combination of both is manifested in my life. I feel so blessed.
A couple without Garfield, or?
We got a couple back this way.
You got to see it on the big screen because our epic outdoor adventure is truly beautiful. The animation's really stunning. I think the bigger the screen, the better. The better the loud, big loud speakers. There's great music cues. There's big action adventure. It's a real movie, and so it's gone from a handful of panels on the comic strip into a full-fledged action adventure. Feels like Mission Impossible. So you want to see it on the big screen.
She's called Jinx, and she is an out-and-out minx. She is basically trying to right a wrong because Garfield's father wronged her, I won't give too much away, back in the day, and so she lures Garfield to get to Vic because she knows that Vic will follow in the shadows. And she's having to make Vic atone for his previous behavior, but in the crossfire comes this beautiful realization from Garfield about his errant father. So it's a really beautifully constructed piece, actually, in all seriousness. The fact that there's the heart of it all is not the orange of it, it's not the cartoon of it, it's this brilliant way they have constructed a real, deeply beating heart through the middle of it in the form of Garfield and his dad, and also, misconceptions we have about each other and how you have to talk. I mean, they talk when they're wrapped around a tree by a cord, But you know, it's reminding us that we need to not presume anything about others and dig in. And so you have that, and then you have the unbelievable animation of it all the crazy different characters. I love it when Snoop comes in, you know. So it's just everything in one place. But I'm telling you, parents need to take a hanky.
One more time, Cecily, on the side.
I'm here with Hill's Pet Nutrition today, and we are celebrating senior dogs, living bolder. So I'm here with 3 senior dogs from Vanderpump Dogs, and we're strutting our stuff, and they are all available for adoption, and they are all senior dogs. We are here at the premiere of Garfield Fun. I've been in a booth doing voiceover, so I haven't gotten to see anyone. I haven't even seen the movie yet. So I'm here today getting to do that. I'm very excited. She is tough. She is the tough head of security at the dairy milk factory. She's very Wisconsin, so I got to go back to my Midwest roots and play around with, like, what have I heard my friends' moms yelling out growing up? So we say a lot of cripes. Oh, cripes, you know, yeah. Well, he's also Midwestern as well, so we kind of bonded that in this, figuring out this character of Marge from Wisconsin. Just the nicest, very, very nice and easy, delightful process. To me, at least, I mean, I love napping and eating. I mean, really, my senior dog is the same. That's why we get along so well. But that's a man after my own heart. Naps, lasagna, I'm all for it. Italian food and napping. Come on, what's better?
I mean, it's kind of crazy. We're here at Chinese Theatre on Hollywood Boulevard, which is an iconic place. You see like people's handprints and footprints from past Hollywood days, and we're at the premiere of Garfield, and I play Odie. I'm so lucky to be a part of the movie. I think there's humor for everyone in the film. I think that the film does a good job of, we have jokes that are for kids, and then there's going to be jokes that are for the parents, and only the parents will get. It's just like it's hard to find a script that has a combination of both.
This is really exciting. See, I spend all my time drawing the comic strip alone in a quiet room, so yeah, this is mind-blowing. It's fun to see. It's fun to see all the folks turn out for it, too. In ways, he's come really far. In other ways, he's just the same cat. Inside, he's still, loves to eat, loves to sleep, hates to exercise. He's a little bit of all of us. On the outside, he has changed quite a bit graphically. I think the designers, the artists, the animators did a wonderful job capturing, this new look, new energy, and everything in the film. It's fun to see.
Right here on the right, guys. Jim.
For 45 years, I've been doing Garfield in 3 frames, 25 words or less. So obviously, working with a format like a movie, I get to see things about Garfield and address issues that we don't have time or space to do in the comic strip. So what they're going to see today really is Garfield being funny, Garfield being, emotional, so it's got a lot of humor, a lot of heart, a little bit of action in there as well. So it's going to be a lot of things about Garfield we've not had the time or the space to show in the comic strip every day. I've always been a Chris Pratt fan anyway. He just oozes funny. And so he applied that beautifully to Garfield. I mean, he just rocked the part. I couldn't believe it when I understood that this kind of a cast was coming together from a lot of my favorite people from SNL and all the great shows and everything. So it was, and they also played off each other. There was great chemistry between them. So it wasn't like a lot of individual funny people. They really did gel and really came together to tell the story the way it should be told.
All my
my gosh, it's so exciting because we made most of the movie during lockdown at home, separate from everyone, and now we're out with everybody. It's really, really fun. We're really excited to have a lot of references to the comic strip throughout the movie, but to also take him on a new adventure. That was part of the story from the very beginning, that Jim Davis was very excited about sending Garfield out on this adventure, out of his comfort zone with his father, who we've never met in the 45 plus years of the comic strip. That was really important to us to not only have the humor, the broad physical comedy, but to also show this other side of Garfield, that his vulnerability, that's something we haven't seen as much of, to really just flesh out his character. When we saw the pictures of our cast when it was announced, you see them all there together. We were just, I mean, we knew they were all in it, but we're just blown away by this cast. It's such a wonderful group of people who can deliver the comedy, the heart, and every single one of them could ad-lib and add more to the character, which I always encourage because they bring so much to it. So we have Chris Pratt starring as Garfield, Samuel L. Jackson plays his father Vic, Nicholas Hoult plays John, Garfield's owner, Harvey Guillén plays Odie, a nonverbal character that Harvey did a great job just barking, yipping, and yapping to express what Odie's thinking and feeling. We have Cecily Strong as Marge Malone. We have Ving Rhames as Otto, an ally that they work with in this heist. We have Brett Goldstein as a henchman, and Bowen Yang as a henchman, and they're both henchmen to Hannah Waddingham, who is Jinx, our villain in the movie. And then we have cameos by Snoop Dogg. We also have Janelle James and Angus Cloud, all cameos in this movie as well. John Batiste sings a song in the opening that's kind of Garfield's theme for being at home. We also have Keith Urban and Snoop Dogg singing a song at the end, and Calum Scott also sings a song at the end that we're using as a romantic love song between Otto and Ethel. I think you're going to enjoy seeing Garfield as you know him from the comic strips, but also you're going to get to see this extra side, this other facet of him that you didn't know before that makes him very relatable and human. So I think you're going to enjoy how we've expanded the character and taken him into a big screen adventure.
You know, it was such a joy working on this movie and writing the music. Our initial conversations about music were just, in the main, it had to have a great theme or two. We really wanted to try to push the idea of the heart. And so that was really, really fun for me to do, because that's kind of where I live. I like to write themes that mean something, hopefully, to people. And so it was really fun. And then the other side of that coin was just writing really fun music. Sort of, sometimes I use a human beatbox thing, and there were big set pieces, big orchestral set pieces. So it's kind of a composer's dream, to be honest with you, just to create all that. You know, that was job number one, was to really capture the heart. Our director, Mark Dindal, is so amazing. I've worked with him, this is our third film together, and he comes from a place of heart. You know, where's the heart? Where's the relationship? So we worked really hard, sort of working on the relationship with Garfield and his dad, and without spoiling it all, it was really, really cool to work on those story arcs of the family, the emotional part. For me, it's always where the emotion lands, and I think that towards the end of the movie, we get to see Garfield, a very vulnerable Garfield, and he discovers something about his past that he didn't know. And it involves his father, his real father. And that was my favorite part, was just seeing that kind of organic relationship develop between he and his dad. I think Garfield is just one of those characters that hits every demographic, we say. You know, it's sort of young, old, everybody, you know, from people in the middle of the country to the coast. I think it just exemplifies sort of that spirit, you know, of a lot of, you know, our younger people today, where very chill and very cool, and yet a fighter. And I think that's wonderful. I think it's great. I guess that's why he appeals to everybody.
It's my first orange carpet. It's amazing to be here. This is the first in my career to have a song in a film. Not only just a film, but a Hollywood movie is just unbelievable. So I'm very, very happy, very hot, but just so excited to be here. I was writing for my third album, which is hopefully coming in the new year, and I'd written this song called Then There Was You. I'm friends with the producer, and we talked about me having a moment on the film, and I sent him Then There Was You, and it just seemed to pair so well. And we tweaked some of the lyrics to make it make sense for Garfield, but I just think it's beautiful. It's about finding your person or finding your feline friend, you know? I'm just so happy. I mean, I never would have thought when I was writing that song that it would appear in a Hollywood movie, so I'm just buzzing. I'm just absolutely over the moon. Can I tell you a secret? I've never seen Garfield before in my life. So I'm like quite excited. Everybody back home was like, oh my God, yeah, lasagna and stuff. And I was like, lasagna is his favorite meal. So yeah, so I'm just happy to be here. I think it's everybody who's seen it so far said it's a great movie. So I'm just excited, and you have to wait till the end. My song is after the credits, so please stay in your seats.
Oh, it's a great feeling. You know, it's a great day, and you know, seeing something that you love as a childhood person, and then you sort of get to work on that character and be part of bringing it to life is a great feeling. So very excited for this day to have played out. I think, you know, the fact that he hates Mondays, like every kid doesn't like Mondays, and you know, he's mischievous, he's very endearing. It's a father-son story, so I think it's got all the trappings of a great family entertainer that families and kids will absolutely enjoy. Yeah, I think the whole idea was to try and, you know, open the world for Garfield to experience and take all the people on a ride as he kind of grows up. And that I think is great, because you see all the different locations and the different places where he goes out and does his thing, which is a lot of fun. You know, our company, DNEG, that's obviously behind creating it from the very first storyboard to bringing it to screen. You know, when we started, Alcon and us, it was like we started on a blank piece of paper. And then the cast and crew, as we sort of moved ahead, came on board. And getting someone like Chris with the kind of fan following and just the person that he is, I think is so magnetic for playing these kind of characters. And that, I think, is absolutely one of a kind in what it does. I think, you know, we've kind of put a very high quality production with you know, a very well-known character, a very well-known you know, crew and talent that's attached to it. So it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of entertainment. You know, summer season and holiday season begins worldwide. So it's a great place for families to come together and have a great time celebrating together, you know, on one of their favorite characters that I think now sparks a couple of generations. So it's a great way to, you know, have the older generation bring their kids and have a great time seeing it together.
It's exciting. It's terrific. It's a long time in the making, and it's thrilling to be here.
Yeah, we're very excited. It's our first animated film, and it's been a long journey and a lot of hard work from a lot of talented people, so we're very excited.
You know, it starts with acquiring the intellectual property. We were very lucky to make a deal with Jim Davis a number of years ago to do a fully animated Garfield movie and then TV and other things. And so from there we just began to develop, and it's about the story. At the end of the day, it's finding a story people want to hear. And one of the things we were really excited about, there's never been a fully animated Garfield feature, so we thought, why not? Give it a try.
One, it's an origin story, so you get to see sort of Garfield's origins, and also you get to meet his long-lost father in Sam Jackson, and the two of them together are comedic, heartfelt, all of it. It's fantastic.
I mean, Chris is amazing. Not only is he a huge movie star that people love, but he's an incredibly funny, warm guy and just very versatile and talented, and he's a lifelong Garfield fan, so we wanted him.
I think to some extent that's a credit to the character of Garfield and all the fans he has, the script that we have that, you know, Dave Reynolds and others contributed to, and then Mark Dindal, our director, is extraordinary director, and so that combination got a lot of people excited, and we really had a lot of choices as far as our cast.
We've been very blessed at Alcon to make a lot of family movies for a lot of years. We think it's a space we know pretty well. And, you know, our goal is always to make a family film, not a children's movie. Meaning a film that children can enjoy is first and foremost for them, but also has a lot for the parents. And we think with the message, the comedy, everything, we've accomplished that here, and we're excited.
This is so exciting. Yeah, it's just amazing to now have audiences seeing the movie and just getting to hear everyone's laughter in the theater. It's just the most incredible experience. It's this story of a very famous lazy indoor cat who is thrust out of his comfort zone into the outside world for the very first time. And I think the movie is filled with so much comedy and heart, and I think it's perfect for the family audience, so we're so happy. Chris Pratt is so incredible, he is so funny and brings so much great improvisational comedy to the movie. We're so lucky to have him. We're so excited about our cast. We've got Samuel L. Jackson playing Garfield's father, Vic, Hannah Waddingham playing the villain, Jinx, everyone from Brett Goldstein, Bowen Yang, Harvey Guillén. It's just the most amazing group. Cecily Strong, Snoop Dogg, Nicholas Hoult playing John. Everyone was our first choice, and we're so happy that they all wanted to do it.
One more time,
We've got an amazing soundtrack. We've got a soundtrack that includes Keith Urban, Snoop Dogg, John Batiste, and so many great songs that we've pulled together. And they're songs that we've had on in the car for the last few weeks. I know they're streaming so well on Spotify, and I think our family is probably contributing at least like 40% of the streams. Garfield rose to popularity in the 80s when people were very fitness obsessed and very into exercising, and it's been amazing to imagine what Garfield would be like in today's world, when in a lot of ways we're even more health obsessed than we ever before. And Garfield speaks for us all as the character who likes to relax, likes to order food using the apps. I think everyone likes to stay at home in their comfort zone, especially after the pandemic, and Garfield embodies that in many ways. One of my favorite scenes is the scene when Garfield is working with Otto for the first time, and they're planning the Mission Impossible style heist to get into the factory, and it's so much fun just to see Garfield's snark and how he's struggling to do things on his own. It was an absolute dream. So lucky to get to work with Jim. I've been a huge Garfield fan my entire life, and the fact that we had the chance to make a Garfield movie is something that to this day I'm still pinching myself about.
After working on this for 4+ years on this iconic, Garfield character, it's amazing. Out in the world, we've been working on it furiously, for 4+. So to see it out in the world is just spectacular. Mark Dindal and John Cohen brought me in. Mark's the director, and John Cohen's one of our main producers. I'd worked with John before on some Angry Birds films, and I was just delighted when I got the call. Garfield's a huge influence on me as an 80s kid. I grew up, watching his specials and reading his comics and everything. So to bring him to a CG, bring him to life was an honor. I think there's a lazy cat in all of us, and he's honest, right? Like, I think there's a true honesty to this character. Jim Davis, the creator of the comic, is so comedic and so brilliant in creating these characters, and we just wanted to pay homage to this iconic character. Yeah, there was a couple Zooms that we had where, you know, we got feedback from Jim, and he was just a delight to work with. And, you know, we really just wanted to stay true to the original source. Garfield, you know, was created in 1978, so his character has evolved throughout the years, and bringing him to the big screen was something that we had to figure out, what Garfield character do we want to represent? And we started looking back. We looked at like the 80s, mid 80s Garfield, and we just love that. I think it just hits like right in the iconic, you know, area. And then we wanted to also make our own statement, you know, and to make this like a new, fresh universe, Garfield universe, and bring it to the big screen. I mean, you're gonna see it all. There's gonna be comedy, there's gonna be heart, there's gonna be a ton of action. Watch for Odie. Odie steals the show. Incredible story crew. Mark Dindal is brilliant in bringing this character to life and creating a crew that is so collaborative. I love mixing this like world of Garfield and food with new technology. It's brilliant.
And everybody over to this side, please.